My name is David Mayu. I'm with the Port of Nanaimo, Director of Communications, and we're bringing Port Connect to you today. We've done this in 2018 and 2019, but this year we're doing a virtual version of this on Zoom for obvious reasons, for your safety, for the safety of the employers and industrial marine-related businesses that we work with. We are working in partnership with Work BC Nanaimo, and the employers that make up our marine-related industry. If you were in the prairies, you wouldn't find these businesses. You wouldn't find tugboat operators. You wouldn't find people who would respond to the environment the same way. You wouldn't find some of the terminal management and some of the engineering firms that we do work with. You would find different style of businesses out there. So this is very typical of what we do in our to make our work go ahead at the port. We work with folks like Chris, who you see on the screen here today is Chris OMalley. I'll get him to introduce himself. He works with WCMRC. I'll have him go into a bit more detail, and I'll be asking him a few questions about what's going on in his industry and what he looks for in employees and what's important for them. So without delay, let's get over to Chris. So welcome, Chris. Thanks for being here today. Can you tell us?
Thanks for having me, David.
Yeah, you bet. And you and your function, your title, and the company you work with.
As you mentioned, David, my name is Chris OMalley. I'm the Nanaimo Base Operations Manager for Western Canada Marine Response Corporation. And so we are the Transport Canada certified response organization on the West Coast for marine oil spills.
Right. And a pretty important function in terms of the environment for the ocean, and our waters are really our pristine waters here that create waterways for cargo moving and people moving on the water. So can you tell us about any kind of trends that are going on in your industry right now? How long you've been here? What's happening with WCMRC, which is the acronym for you, for the organization? A little bit of background about you.
Sure. So I've been with the company since 2011. Obviously, we're going through a lot of growth right now. That's tied to the Trans Mountain expansion plan.
Right.
We're going from a company of about 20 people when I first came. We're going to be about 220 by 2022. Started out with around 10 or 12 vessels. We're going to be up to 82 to 84. Extra bases, 100 response trailers, all kinds of growth in the company. So obviously we're going through some pretty rapid change. We're introducing a bunch of, for instance, a management system safety. So professionalizing our safety system. Just sort of going from that small outfit to a much larger one based on the potential for more marine traffic and the transportation of more oil in our waters.
Okay. And where are you based? So you're here in Nanaimo. Where else are you? Mid-Island are you right now?
So we, in terms of Mid-Island, our area of response goes from just south of Dodds Narrows up to Kananamu. And we have equipment caches in Port Hardy and Campbell River. And then our team of 22 people based in Nanaimo, and we are going to be on port property eventually. Right. So that's Nanaimo. In addition, we're building new bases in Sydney, in Beecher Bay and Port Alberni. We've got existing bases in Prince Rupert. Likely there will be another one in Kitimat. We also have bases in Vancouver Harbour. So currently in Burnaby, Bird Inlet. We're looking at another base on Commissioner Street and one in the Fraser River as well.
Wow, a lot of growth going on, and it's happening pretty fast.
Absolutely.
So, pretty dynamic. So in terms of the very specific kind of activity you folks engage in, can you give me kind of a typical, maybe explain in a typical day, or what kind of responses that you react to? What are you called to do, and therefore what kind of skill sets are you looking for with folks who would work with WCMRC?
Mm-hmm. Well, thankfully we get very few calls for oil spills. People are very careful about spilling oil, and that's the way everyone wants it. So that's really good. We do get small spills from time to time. That can mean going anywhere within our zone of responsibility. and that can be responses arriving by vessel or by road. It runs the gamut. Anywhere on the coast that people are moving oil around on the water, we could potentially go. Typically, our day-to-day is more about maintaining equipment and training contractors and casual employees and doing drills. The team just did a no-notice drill with one of the oil handling facilities here in Nanaimo yesterday. We do a lot of that kind of stuff, and then we have a lot of gear, so there's a lot of time being spent maintaining that gear and looking after it and making sure we're ready to go.
Right. Okay. And it's, I mean, in a sense, it's like the equivalent of a fire department.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just
You're focused.
fires.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you don't want fires to occur, but you got to be ready to react and quickly.
Exactly. Yeah.
They do occur. Can you tell me what is the response time? How far would you go if you were called? What's the reach for you folks?
Well, as a company, anywhere in BC waters out to the 200 nautical mile limit.
Okay.
And there's different time standards based on where a response happens and how big it is how quickly we need to get there.
Right.
Obviously, a spill that happens in Nanaimo Harbor during business hours, we're going to get to a lot quicker than one that happens mid-coast somewhere in the middle of the night.
Right.
So, I mean, totally dependent on, as I said, the incident, anywhere from we could be there in an hour's time to 18 hours plus travel time if it's
right.
a large enough response that far enough away that requires that level of mobilization of equipment.
Okay, Chris, and can you tell us what kind of skill set are you looking for when you are looking for candidates to do some work with you? What creates an ideal employee in your mind?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, we are hiring about 100 people. In a variety of different skill sets, mostly mariners. So deckhands, engineers, masters, 60-ton masters, 150-ton masters, or 500-ton masters. Engineers, third and fourth class, and then deckhands with SVOPs and SVMOs. We like people who are really passionate about the marine environment and about making a difference. There's a lot of routine in our jobs. People get the impression that we're out there cleaning up oil every day and riding off to emergencies. It's typically not what our day is like. So people who enjoy that preparedness side of things, training, interacting with contractors, that kind of stuff. The usual good team players. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you have to work as a team, so you have to rely on each other.
Absolutely. Yeah, and those teams, not like a traditional marine employer where you're on a boat with some guys. You can be in a variety of different roles, doing a variety of different things from day to day. So it's quite varied.
Okay. So the skill set you're looking for, what if you had to say, here's 2 or 3 top skills that we are looking for? And I understand from the ticket, having a marine ticket for operating vessels and working on vessels, there's a range of things and skill set and experience that people need to have from the way I understand it. Please correct me if I'm off track there, but yeah. So what is it that you're looking for in terms of a skill, a series of skills, maybe the soft skills compared to the hard skills?
Yeah, I mean, as I said, because our job is highly variable, we like people that are flexible, okay with running a boat one day and working on a beach the next day and running up humps the following day.
Right.
We like to attract people who see this as a bit of a calling. It is a job. It's how I feed my family. It's how everyone that we work with feeds their family, but it's something we're all passionate about. And then just that willingness to pick up the phone and come in on your day off if a spill happens. That's really important. And people who can get along well. And,
And the training that you do a fair amount of training on the job then? The drills are happening, but...
we do.
About that, yeah.
Yeah, we do. So in addition to the sort of maritime skills that we usually ask people to come with, there's a lot of oil spill response stuff that people have to know. So how to run the skimmers, the specialized oil response equipment, how to do the various spill activities from beach cleanups to on-water skimming to all kinds of decontamination, all kinds of different things. So as my boss always likes to say, we do 2 main things: is train and maintain.
Train and maintain. Okay.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Interesting. Okay. So I'm going to ask it from a reverse side. Is there things that are people surprised by when they come to work with you and they say, I didn't think it was going to be like this, or I got a bit surprised at how, the activities that we're working on. Is there any surprises that occur like that or not really?
Yeah. I mean, I think our biggest surprise, and that we try and get across to people, is it's not all about boats. We are a marine company, but we're not just a marine company.
Okay.
So as I mentioned earlier, that ability to switch gears and to do a variety of different things and not just run boats is something we're definitely looking for.
Okay, so and the reason I draw on that is because of experience that I've had where I worked in a particular environment, the marine environment, where people felt they had to have boat skills. They had to be operators of boats. And what I was looking for is good communicators, good people that were good team people that had lots of respect for their colleagues, because we had to be a team. And that's really made a difference for the function that we had. So it was something that I didn't know until I was there working in the environment that I found that out. So people were surprised by that and thinking, oh, I'm not qualified, when in fact they can be very qualified without knowing.
Yeah. I mean, that wide gamut of things we do, it can be everything from providing training in First Nations communities to working in an incident command post to all kinds of different things. We're quite forward facing. What we do tends to attract a lot of attention from the public. So there's lots of interaction with the public. Yeah. So, we like people that are comfortable with that, but also know when it's time to engage, but when it's time to disengage. So,
yeah. Okay. So that's interesting. So it's knowing that you're kind of under the eye of the of people you're surrounded, but in really important function too. Function. So I can understand why it's important to have a passion for this. What is the best way for people to contact you, to reach out to you? Is there a specific way that you would prefer? Is it via?
Yeah, I mean, if someone's interested about the company in general or coming to work for us, the website, WCMRC.com, is the best place to sort of get that first look at us. We are, you will see our boats around. You'll see our people around. You'll notice our logo. Feel free to come up and talk to any one of us. We're always happy to talk to people, and most people are pretty proud of what we do. So we like to talk about it. So
you are us. Well, and my small amount of contact with WCMRC and the folks there that you have, just great people. So I've had the occasion to work a little bit with you on several things, and it's just been a great experience. So you're an excellent resource, an excellent partner with the board. Is there anything else that you want to, just in retrospect for what we've discussed, anything else, Chris, that you want to mention, or we pretty much covered it, do you think?
No, I think we pretty much covered it.
Okay, that's great. Well, thanks very much for your time. Appreciate that, because I know you're busy, and getting your routines in place. We are going to put some information on screen, viewers, so that people can contact Chris and know how to get a hold of him. Alternatively, people can go to the employment, to Work BC Nanaimo if they're seeking employment or want to maybe make a shift in their career. We will be glad to take that information and pass it along if it doesn't get straight over to Chris. And we want to wish you well for dialing in today. Thanks very much for being with us, and good luck in your search.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Chris.